In this video, we'll learn some tips on how to distinguish between I and na adjectives at 3 different learning levels. Japanese has 2 types of adjectives, I-adjectives and na-adjectives. Generally, I-adjectives end with I, while adjectives that do not end with I are na-adjectives. At first, this seems straightforward, but exceptions start to appear, and some na-adjectives do end with I. So the question is, how can we tell if an adjective is an I-adjective or a na-adjective? If you're just starting to learn adjectives and are not familiar with kanji yet, memorizing some of the common exceptions would be the easiest approach and will give you a pretty good start. The Genki 1 and Genki 2 books introduce 106 adjectives with only 5 exceptions, meaning that there are 5 na-adjectives that end with I. Kirei, beautiful. Kirai, dislikable. Yume, famous. Teinei, polite. And shinpai, worried. A possible memory tip to memorize them in English is the witch is worried and dislikes Snow White, who is beautiful, famous, and polite. For those who study Japanese with kanji, you can look at the kanji for the adjective to tell if it's an I adjective or a na adjective. Let's see some examples in kanji. For I adjectives, we have oki, big, and chisai, small. For na adjectives, we have kirei, beautiful, and yume, famous. Notice that the last I in na adjectives is part of the kanji. So when you look at the kanji, and if the last I is part of the kanji, then it's a na adjective. Here's more examples. If you look at the I adjectives, the last I is not part of the kanji. It's part of what is called okurigana. But if you look at the na adjectives, the last I is part of the kanji. So Japanese speakers automatically know that these adjectives that end with I are na adjectives because the last I is part of the kanji. The last tip is for those who are more advanced in Japanese learning. You can look at the word structure. Here are some examples. Notice that even though these are na adjectives, they end with I, and the last I is not part of the kanji. But there is a pattern. These adjectives come from verbs. The stem of the mas form verb is used as an adjective. Let's look at the word kirai as an example. The plain verb is kirau, to dislike. The mas form is kiraimasu, and the stem kirai is used as an adjective. So if the stem of mas form verb is used as an adjective, it's not adjective. Today we learned how to tell I and na adjectives. Thank you for watching. ありがとうございます。